Welcome everyone to the 2007-2008 32-team franchise. This is the recap of the New York Jets. The Jets were 9-7 and were the second place team in the AFC East. They had a fairly good season and they were on track for the playoffs, even for a wild card seat. Unfortunately, they lost out to the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. They were led by Chad Pennington, as you can see there, just 2 yards shy of 3,300 passing yards. Had 28 TDs, 7 interceptions, 67% completion rate, and then those 2 rushing touchdowns. The Jets had some bright spots, some good moments, as you can see right there. There's some nice plays. Justin McCarrions was a very solid receiver for the Jets. As you can see, number 81 there, 770 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. The thing with Justin McCarrions was Lavernius Coles was injured first part of the season. Then they had Jericho Cotchery injured for part of the season. So whereas McCarrions would have been a third or fourth wide receiver, he was always the second wide receiver, whether it was second to Cotchery or Coles. So he had a lot of playing time, which led to a lot more receiving yards. As you can see, he was solid in the red zone, good on those slants. He also had some very deep plays that were just very enjoyable and very reliable. There's Jericho Cotchery with 394 receiving yards, and Lavernius Coles over there, who did have over 1,000 receiving yards and 8 TDs. There's Doug Jolly, the tight end, with 722 receiving yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. There you go. Beautiful catch right there and double, almost triple coverage. Jolly was a very solid tight end, even though the Jets did draft Dustin Keller, the tight end, in the 2008 NFL Draft as their first-round pick. So I'm looking forward to seeing the two of them working together in the 2008-2009 NFL season. As for the running attack, there's Thomas Jones, 804 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Only a couple highlights with him. And then Leon Washington was injured early in the season, which let Thomas Jones be the main guy. Here's some highlights of Washington with 443 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. He was injured like week 2 or week 3, but came back near the end of the season to help them with some big plays, as you can see right there against the Patriots. And here we have a defensive play there. Brett Favre getting sacked, and he tried to throw the ball, and he threw it right into the defender right there for the touchdown. They were ranked 23rd in total offensive yards, and they were also in the 20s, number 22 there with total passing yards. They were a bit better in the rushing attack, where they were 18th, but again, so they were out of the 20s, but not much better, still at the bottom half of the league. Total points per game, they were ranked 23rd. Now when we move on to the defensive side of the ball, they were the top 7th defense in least yards allowed, 15th in least passing yards allowed. And when it came to running defense, they were top 6, the 6th ranked team there. And then the last stat here, where they ranked with least points allowed, they were top 7. There it is, the 2007-2008 NFL season with the New York Jets. Looking to possibly move into the playoffs next year. We'll see what happens.